we're going to do our video over the game Grand Theft Auto. Grand Theft Auto 5 is the newest game in the series. The game was announced on the 25th of October in 2011. After the announcement on 2 November, they released a trailer of the game. On the 30th of October, 1 year after the announcement of the game was made, they said that the game would come out in spring of 2013. Finally, the real release date was set on the 17th of September, which has been achieved by Rockstar. The sale of the game surpassed all expectations. After a few days, the $1 billion revenue was reached. The development costs were $266 million, so they already had a profit of $634. This is also why Rockstar called GTA 5 the biggest, most ambitious game that has ever been made. Also, Rockstar said that GTA 5 was bigger than Red Dead Redemption, GTA San Andreas, and Grand Theft Auto 4 combined. These are also games produced by Rockstar. You can play the game Grand Theft Auto 5 on different platforms, on the PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, Xbox 360 and the PC. You can actually play the game when you're 18 years of older, but I reckon that no one pays attention to this. The story of the game is going about the hunt on the mighty dollar, which explains the logo of the game. You can make up that Los Santos, where the game takes place, is suffering from the crisis out of the trailer because of the shots of the homeless guys and someone who is selling his house. They don't always hunt on these dollars on the legal way. Sometimes they are robbing a bank, for example. In Grand Theft Auto 5 you are not playing with one character, as in most of this sort of games, but you're playing with three: Michael, Trevor and Franklin. Every character got his own storyline, hobbies and friends. Also the characters differ from each other by their skills. They all got 7 skills: shooting, stamina, strength, stealth, flying, driving, mechanic, lung capacity and one special skill. Franklin can, for example, when he's behind the wheel, put all the traffic in slow motion so he can make a quick turn. Next to some small robberies, you can also prepare big heists. You got to hire people for those, for example someone who takes care of the guns you are going to use in the heist, or a hacker who is hacking the cameras. Last but not least, you can play mini-games in-game, such as doing some yoga, jump off a cliff with a parachute, ride on a jet ski or play tennis.
Grand Theft Auto 5 is, as well as other Grand Theft Auto games, published by Rockstar Games. They are also known from the Red Dead, Midnight Club, Max Payne and Manhunt series of games. Rockstar Games was founded in December 1998 by the brothers Sam and Dan Houser. The main headquarters of Rockstar Games is located on Broadway, New York. At the start of the year 2014, game titles published by Rockstar Games have shipped over 250 million copies all around the world. By the time of November 2016, the Grand Theft Auto series had as well over 250 million copies. This will give you a simple indication of the success Grand Theft Auto had over the years. Grand Theft Auto 5 is by far the most successful game in the Grand Theft Auto series, which has sold over 75 million copies since the release of 2013. That also makes Grand Theft Auto 5 the most successful video game of all time. But Grand Theft Auto goes so much further than only Grand Theft Auto 5. The first Grand Theft Auto was released in 1997. This sounds weird because I just told you that Rockstar Games was founded in 1998. But the first Grand Theft Auto was developed by another company, DMA Design. 2 years later there came 3 successors on the first Grand Theft Auto. Developed by Rockstar: Grand Theft Auto 5, London 1969 and Grand Theft Auto London 1961 were released. The last Grand Theft Auto released in 1999, was the real successor of the first Grand Theft Auto, Grand Theft Auto 2. All of these 4 games I mentioned were in a 2-dimensional universe and could only be played on Windows and the first generation of the PlayStation series, the PS1. From 2001 until 2006, there were 6 games released in the series. All of them were 3-dimensional. These games were revolutionary. The extremely good graphics for that time and the great gameplay were all factors that contributed to the success of these games. I'll put these games in a row and tell you something more about it. In 2001, Grand Theft Auto 3 was released. It was the first Grand Theft Auto game in a 3-dimensional universe, playable on smartphone, and the first PlayStation 2 and Xbox compatible Grand Theft Auto. 1 year after this, Grand Theft Auto Vice City was released. This was the first game developed by Rockstar since the 1999 release of Grand Theft Auto London 1961. In 2004, Rockstar came up with Grand Theft Auto San Andreas. This was the best Grand Theft Auto according to a lot of loyal players. A year later, there came 2 successors to Grand Theft Auto Vice City, Grand Theft Auto Vice City and Liberty City Stories. The real success to Grand Theft Auto came in 2008, when Grand Theft Auto 4 was released. This was the first game in high definition. Between 2008 and 2013, Rockstar came with some brand new Grand Theft Auto games, but these didn't become such a great success as the game released in 2013.
My opinion of the game is very positive. I liked it a lot because you can do stuff in the game which you probably never do in real life. You can experience